You are listening to the Wild Man Podcast.
Thank you for choosing the Wild Man Podcast. Today, our guest is Danny from Poolside at the Flamingo.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
No problem. My first question is, how'd you guys come up with that band name? Because that's a very unique band name.
Yeah, so we came up with it back in 2005, 2006 when well, two things were happening. First of all, weird band names were in. It was like See You Next Tuesday, Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. I Wrestled a Bear once, like all these band names and we had been called Out for Blood for a while. And we had a member change up and we just wanted to rebrand, rename, and we were trying to choose any name that sounded cool and any name that was death, blood, whatever was just taken. Everything we came up with, like, oh shit, that's taken. Oh shit, that's taken. So just turned to our bass player at the time. I'm like, first thing comes to your head, like, what do you think? And he's just like, oh, Poolside of the Flamingo, because we were big fans of the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas at the time, and Hunter S. Thompson, and uh, so we thought about it for a couple days and just ultimately went with it, even though it sounded nuts. For me, it took a while. I was like, I don't know about this name, but here we are to this day, and it's so I get feedback both ways. We get some people that are like, that's the shittiest name I've ever heard, and then we get some people that are like, that's the fucking sweetest name I've ever heard. So
I feel like there's worse band names on there. You could go on like Metal Archives and literally you'll see worse.
I think so. I think so. Sometimes I do fear that I'm like, maybe we're shunning away some listeners simply because of the name. Because I swear I've had one or two people either comment or say something like, "Oh, actually, this is pretty good. Like I never checked him out just because of the name." So
For
I
sure.
don't know, man. I don't know. It's too late now.
So I'm guessing you're the vocalist, correct?
Actually, I play guitar.
Oh shit.
I write all the music. I play guitar. Our vocalist is my brother. We're actually twin brothers. Many don't know that about us. We don't look alike. We're not identical, but yeah, we're brothers and been doing it, ever since we were kids.
That has to be something sweet. Like it seems like a family dynamic like that has to be like unique. Like you get to actually spend time with your brother and like anybody who does music with it, like brother, dad, anybody. I feel like it's more in sync because you guys are blood.
Yeah, I think so. We tend to do a lot of things together. We have a business together. We have like a horror podcast together that is sort of on hiatus at the moment, but a band together. I mean, we grew up working in our family's business together, so it's just natural to be like, yeah, let's start a band. We all hung out with the same kids when we were young, and we all got into the same music at the same time, and everyone in my hometown was like trying to start a band when we were in eighth grade. So we just started one of our own.
Heck yeah. Like I think my old roommate, him and his brother are 2 years apart. Don't quote me on that. But they're both into like deathcore beat down. Like you could tell which brother's which, but
Yeah.
they look like twins. And like the one brother lives in Germany and listens to beat down, and my old roommate is his brother, and he listens like deathcore.
Okay. Okay. Well, hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's family affair.
Oh yeah. So my first question for you is, what are some of the influences for you guys? Like, what were some of your personal influences?
Early on, it was a lot of like the MySpace grind, and mixed with deathcore though. So, See You Next Tuesday, Tower of Rome, As the Sun Sets, Daughters, a lot of these older grind bands that initially sort of inspired us to write the way we wrote because when we were called Out for Blood, we were more of like a metalcore band, and then we shifted over to just try to play the heaviest stuff that we could think of, and at the time that was like grind slash deathcore. These days it just changes, we like to keep some grind influence in there, but We also like slam and deathcore. So I try to have a healthy mix of all three in our music. And my inspiration or influences are changing at all times. I do listen to a lot of music and I'll listen to a lot of music while writing even and just be like, oh, I really liked what these people did here or this band did here. Maybe I can do something similar, but then put my own twist on it, but then go into something totally different than they went into and piece together some parts. So, we had an EP a couple years ago, Cabadora. I took while writing that, a lot of inspiration came from like End and like Body Snatcher and Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. So lately we have a new album that just dropped fully a couple weeks ago, although some singles have been out for almost a year now. That has a little more slam influence. So I was listening to a lot of like Peeling Flesh and Snuffed on Sight and um now we just dropped the whole thing, so four of the songs are brand new as of a month ago, and we just toured with it, and we got back, and the tour inspired me. I just have been made aware of this whole. I knew it was sort of there before, but not to this extent. This like underground deathcore revival, young kid bands coming out. We toured with Katie Went Missing. They're like a younger deathcore, or I would say like metalcore deathcore revival band that's ripping it up. But then we played with a lot of cool bands out in Cali and bands that are up and coming like Mauled and Peacemaker and I Saw God and these like bands when you listen to them they sound straight up like old Suicide Silence or Job for a Cowboy or something like that and so some of that is going to be sneaking back into our writing as well. So if we can keep like some old school deathcore, some slam, some grind, so the influences are changing all the time.
Oh yeah, like the revival scene's absolutely insane right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts, man. I just saw, and some of these bands are coming up. I mean, Maul just toured Europe with Spite. Now they're on the upcoming All Shall Perish Carnifex tour. I think metal is alive and well. You have sort of that younger crowd coming up, but then on I don't say the other end of the spectrum, but that's not always so tech. It's like these brutal beatdown stuff. It's not that it's all beatdown, but then on the other side of things, you have these super tech breakdowny deathcore bands like Synestia or that are just tearing it up as well. Shout out to their drummer Byron, who was or is in Crown Magnetar, who are good friends of ours. So they're up and at it as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love the Crown Boys. Me and Byron are really, I wouldn't say close as much as we used to be. Because like me and Byron got close as soon as like I messaged them. I asked them. I was like, "You guys want to hop on?" And I didn't know like how we talked. I didn't know who I was talking to, and I was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
I s This is when I was doing Instagram lives, and they're like this. He's like, "Follow me on my personal page," and I was like this. Oh, now I can put a name with a face.
Nice, nice. Yeah, yeah, cool guys. Our drummer right now he used to be their bass player a long time ago. So
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah, and we're just both from Colorado, so we knew them coming up back a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah, you guys are definitely killing it. Like, I would love to see you guys open for Crown.
that'd be sick. Yeah, thanks, man. We're falling back into it again. We used to tour a lot back in like 2007, 8, and 9, and then we some falling outs happened. We didn't play for the longest time. We tried to come back once or twice and a couple of long hiatuses and but now yeah, we've been trying to get more consistent and see if we can hit the road more. It's tough because we all have kids and wives, families now, as because we're getting older. But yeah, but this last run we just did was amazing. Tons of kids coming out. It definitely stoked the fire. We want to get out there again, probably in October, September, October, and then we're looking at probably East Coast next year. But none of that's in writing yet, but we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, if you guys ever need a venue in Iowa, because I know we're not far from each other, hit me up. There's like I feel like every scene right now is flourishing with bands because, like you said, the younger crowd is finding Like I hate my younger brother is 17 and now he comes up to me. He's like, "You ever hear of this band?" And I'm like, "I grew up in the generation of that band."
Yes. They are coming together. I feel like there was a generation maybe between ours and the one that's like the younger kids right now that there weren't bands for a while. Like no one was joining bands, no one was starting bands. I don't know what happened. I don't know why. And now all of a sudden I feel like it's coming back around. Like now there's young kid bands again. Now there's high school bands again, and a lot of them are just going right into touring it.
Oh
So,
yeah, I've only seen Mauled once, and I didn't know who they were at that time because like I kind of stepped away from deathcore. Like I made a statement to like I was like I'm never interviewing deathcore again.
yeah.
Because like I didn't know like it's so hard to get like some of the OGs because some of the OGs are very stubborn in their old ways.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
And
sense.
and I was just like I can't do it. Then I worked a festival and like it was them and Waking the Cadaver headlining.
Hmm.
And I was like, who's Mauled? I was like, I've heard of Maul.
Yeah, yeah, which is funny, right? It's very close.
And I thought that's who it was. I was like, oh, it's the death metal band. And like they came on stage and it was like, "Do, do, do." I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy, man, because back when we were coming up, deathcore was sort of a newer term, and you didn't want to. Not that it was a bad thing, but you almost didn't want to be called deathcore. It was like, oh, call it we're death metal or we're grindcore or we're death grind. Like, I don't know. Now it's like everyone's like, no, we're deathcore. Like we're straight up deathcore. So
Oh yeah. So like when you write, do you take any like movies or anything from like personal life for inspiration, or how's that work for you?
I guess not so much for maybe writing the guitar riffs and stuff. Sort of the way that we write is I will write the guitar along with drums, and then I'll send that shit off to like our drummer. He'll put some input in, see if he wants to change anything as far as drums goes and things like that. Then the song will pretty much be done and lyrics get added in last. My brother just comes in, he'll see what we got, then he'll start putting some words to it. And I know some bands do it the opposite way, but so really it all for me is all musically, and I wouldn't say that the riffs or anything come from movies or anything like that, but we definitely use a lot of samples. We use a lot of samples, especially on our new drop. The EP before that, we sort of left them out, at least within the songs, but we're back to that again. We want to use samples. We love movies. We love horror movies. We love all movies, but we've always been known to work them in song names, samples, parts in between songs. So I'm always when I am writing, I am thinking in my mind like, oh, this would be a sick part for a sample right here. Like what can we use? And I'll just go off on YouTube starting to search it out.
What are some of what's some of your favorite horror movies in general?
My favorite horror franchise is The Evil Dead, so anything they put out, you can't do wrong by me, although some are better than the other, obviously. But classics, The Shining is a huge fan favorite of my brother and I's. Um, a lot of I mean it's not that the newer stuff isn't great too, but you go back to a lot of the classics, The Thing, Exorcist scared the shit out of me when I was 4 years old, and it's scarred me ever since. And now the scariest genre to me is like possession horror or found footage. I love found footage, anything found footage, but now there's a lot of shit these days, so you got to be careful. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
one of my favorite I like the bloody and guts ones like Terrifier.
Yeah, a lot of gore. Can't go wrong. Yeah. Um, yeah, but I know that their Terrifier's working into a lot of metal bands and designs lately, so that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that guy's like the nicest dude in the world. I met him one time at a like it was like a Comic-Con in Des Moines and
Yeah.
I showed him my like Terrifier tattoo and he twisted my arm like he does to a victim in the movie. I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm not ripping my arm off,
Ah,
bro."
that's awesome. I mentioned we have a horror podcast. I years ago I guest hosted another podcast that he was a guest on, so I sort of chatted with him a little bit then, and yeah, that was like when the first Terrifier was just out, but he was a cool guy even then. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys ever need like a good horror movie guy to interview or just have on your guys' podcast when you come back, definitely hit up Phil Vasquez from Irate.
Okay.
You look
Okay.
in his back room, it's literally all like horror movie like
Damn.
figures all signed and everything. And he goes to like scary movie cons all the time.
That's cool, man. I've been to a few and they're such a good time. I love all walking around and they have good merch there too and everything. It's always a good time.
It's funny seeing like scary movie cons with band merch.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It looks the same a lot of the times.
But
So,
like like I know you guys been around for a while. Did you guys get a like tour with any of the big names like Suicide Silence, like the OGs as we call them now?
yeah, we never toured with these guys, with any of them, but we certainly crossed paths with a lot of bands and played shows with them back in the day. There's a few examples. I had never heard of Carnifex before, and we were touring through New Mexico, and so were they, and we just happened to play at the same venue on the same night. And I was like, "Damn, these guys are sick!" and bought their only CD they had at the time back then, "Dead in My Arms," and played with them a handful of times since then. So that's always been fun and chat with them every now and then. Yeah, I played with Veil of Maya and After the Burial on a show. I didn't know who they were at the time either. We just crossed paths, played the same venue in Arizona one night. We have played with Old School Suicide Silence in Colorado Springs one time when they came through. So yeah, just a lot of like crossing paths and playing shows. Tony Danza tap dance stayed at my house twice. They played locally with us. Then we played a couple times with them, and so yeah, just a lot of examples of that, but not we never actually like went on a tour. We toured solo all the time back in the day, and then two of the tours we went with like another just sort of unknown band at the time that we were friends with. So
Oh yeah, it's crazy to think like we grew up in the generation that we never thought the MySpace bands would be as big as they are now.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Some of them are huge. It's crazy. Lorna Shore is playing arenas and stuff.
Yeah, like I remember when I've never seen Lorna before they got like big. Like I just
And I
started.
actually have never seen them, so but yeah, I don't go to that many shows. It's crazy. I used to as a kid. I used to go to tons of shows, and then when we started playing a lot of shows, I don't know. I just stopped going to like a ton of shows. So now I have kids and a wife, and we play. Whenever I can get away, it seems we're playing a show instead of me going to shows. So
That's fair.
yeah,
Like if you ever have the opportunity to see Lorna, they're definitely one of those bands like they earned their spot as in a sense because they picked up the heavy scene and put it in the light for
yeah,
everybody to like, hey, we got this out here and you guys are ignoring it.
yeah, yeah. Them and Knocked Loose have done a lot to bring awareness to like this genre of metal. It's crazy to see a band like Knocked Loose being so huge and just playing the shows they play and for the people that they play and it's being accepted. I would have never thought that that style of music would, get that far. It's nuts.
Oh yeah, like
So,
I think the last time I seen an intimate venue with Lorna was. Have you guys been to Iowa before?
we, I know we played there back in the day, but I don't even remember where or when. So no, we were actually maybe going to make it up there before the end of the year, but I think that got rerouted. So we'll still won't be making it up that way.
There's a venue up here in Iowa City called Wildwood. It's like a barbecue little joint, and it was
Okay.
right after COVID, and it was Lorna Shore, Distant, Signs of the Swarm.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And I was like, this is the most epic night of my life. And I like crowd surfed and almost lost my house keys.
That's great. I used to, when I did go to shows, and I mean, I was a kid. Like when we were in eighth grade, our parents would drop us off. I saw Slipknot at an intimate venue the first time they ever came to Denver. I saw like System of a Down in the same fashion. They only had one album out, one intimate venue. Same deal though. We were like, crowd surf us, and we're these like 14-year-old kids just trying to mosh and everything.
Are you guys working on new material? I know you guys just put out the a new album, but I know like a lot of bands work on new music as soon as
Yeah,
it's done.
we are. I wasn't planning on it, but again, like I was saying, I sort of got excited after this last time we were just out on the road, and it's inspired me to start writing again. I haven't put like pen to paper, so to speak, yet, but I just got a new guitar the other day, and I'm trying to get the strings all figured out, and then the writing will begin here in the next 2 weeks. So again, that's real fast. Usually we write pretty slow, and when we release something, we wait forever to write anything new. But I think we're just gonna jump right back on it and see if we can't have like a 4 song EP out by the end of the year or something like that.
Is there any features you guys would love to like work with like any members from any bands?
You know, we've actually never done a feature before, and we've never really thought about it or entertained doing it, but there are some cool ones like, and it's been more like prevalent these days. Our my brother, our singer, has been now getting requests, maybe a handful of them this year to do features on other people's shit. And he's so busy too, and we are and we're not he doesn't put himself out there for that. He doesn't do whatever. And so I think he's actually coming over to record one this week, this first one ever. And so we're like, we're just not in that world at all. But it would be sick to get features from maybe a couple different people. Yeah, I don't know who exactly. Maybe Dan from Crown. Since he's a buddy of ours. Um, some of the bands we just played with would be cool. I don't know. Chris, the drummer for Body Snatcher, does all our mixing and mastering. Maybe we could get them involved somehow, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's crazy to see how far Body Snatcher has came from the years.
Yeah, they're one too that's sort of just on their way up and up into spreading the music to other crowds too. So yeah.
I would
Um,
love to see the like I know King Conquer, they lost their vocalist a long time ago. God rest his soul.
mm.
I would love to see them do one reunion show with Kyle as vocalist because he did it for Float Face Down.
That's true. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I didn't listen to them like a ton, but they are sick for sure. Like they are.
It's
So
crazy to think how like now like we have the access to like Spotify because when we were growing up, we only had the MySpace, and if you didn't have internet, the only way you were getting CDs or anything is hopefully Hot Topic had it.
yeah, it's true, man. But that shit's coming back. We were just on the road. We sold the most CDs we've ever sold, and usually we just don't sell CDs. No one buys them. But now, again, the kids are coming back. They're nostalgic. They want to buy the physical media. They want cassettes. They want CDs. People have been already wanting vinyl for a while now, so that's been happening. But just to me, anyways, CDs are it's new that people are like clamoring for CDs again. So that's been cool. But you're right. Back in the day, you just sort of had to buy CDs blind, hoping off the what the cover looked like or something like that, or maybe you heard them on a compilation or something like that, and you had to buy them. There isn't really you could listen to them on MySpace, but yeah, the streaming is a blessing now, but I was just talking to someone else the other day, and that we definitely lost something good with MySpace though, because that's how we used to book all our tours and how we used to communicate with all uh, peers and bands, and they don't really have anything. There's Instagram, you can DM people, but it just doesn't feel the same there, and it doesn't seem to work as well if you're trying to like find shows to play and book and things like that. Luckily, we have a booking agent now, but we used to book all our own shit back in the day.
Oh yeah, like I tell a lot of people like it's hard on Instagram because sometimes when you DM someone, sometimes like sometimes I don't even see like someone's like, "Hey, I messaged you on Instagram." I'm like,
Yeah, where? It's hiding in the spam requests.
and like I don't open my spam 90% of the time because let's be real, bots are a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I usually like empty my folder out. So I'm just like delete, delete, delete. Unless if I see, hey, is this so and so? Then I'm like, oh wait, maybe that's something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I just don't think the communication lines are quite as open as they used to be with MySpace. But um, whatever. I mean, now we have wider webs of booking agents and probably more venues these days that are doing it. So, my son's looking in. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Nice. Sorry.
You're all
Kids,
good.
man, that's what we deal with these days.
Yeah, my lovely soon-to-be wife, I get married in September.
Oh, congrats.
Kind of has been hinting towards having a little one here soon.
Yeah.
And she's all like this. I was like, and like I work a full-time 9 to 5 job, and I was like this. I'll be home for 6 weeks, and she was all like this. Are you gonna still do interviews? I was like, I'm gonna strap that little guy in front of me, and I'm gonna be like this.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, man. You got to keep doing what you're doing. I try not to let it slow me down, but you know, they demand your time as well. That's what's been tough for us trying to tours, figure out that dynamic. This last one we just went out for 10 days and just sort of said see ya and FaceTimed when we could and for longer runs if we get the opportunity and we're able to tour with the right bands and it's worth it, then we might start trying to take the families along somehow, see what we can do, grab a couple hotel rooms or whatever.
Yeah, because like I feel like nowadays we're very fortunate with like how Zoom's a thing, FaceTime and everything. Because back in the day, like it was brutal. Like
Yeah.
people not hearing from like picture messaging wasn't a like hardcore thing back then.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot harder to keep in touch, for sure, man, and not as personable. So that is better about these days. And we can work on the road too. Bring a laptop. Most people can work remote if they have to, so it
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah. How do you got? I'm guessing you do all the recording at your place then?
So we do all the tracking ourselves, but then we send off our rough tracking to, at the moment, yeah, we're using Chris from Body Snatcher. He has a audio studio called Dead Rabbit Audio, and we'll initially record all our own shit, but then he, adds the magic touch. If you just listen to it after we're done, it doesn't sound that touched up or great. It works for like demo tracks and things like that, but I send him all the raw files. He does some reamping and things like that, applies some different tones here and there, and sends us the finished product back. So he's been awesome to work with. It's been super easy. We're not that picky. Our sound is also like pretty straightforward. We don't do a lot of effects or anything. Maybe that'll change coming up, but it's pretty straightforward. I send him stuff, he sends it back. There might be a little bit of back and forth, but good to go. It's just with the technology these days, it's way more affordable to do it that way. I mean, 2 albums ago or 3 albums ago, well, 2 albums ago, we went to a studio, and the one before we went to a studio, which was with Dave Otero here in Denver, who famously like does all the recordings for Archspire and Cattle Decapitation, and um, I think someone else is working with him lately that's like new. I forgot, but he's like top dollar. And so if you just want the like premium experience where you worry about absolutely nothing, you don't even press a button or anything, you go see a guy like him, but you're definitely going to pay for it.
Oh yeah. It's cool seeing like a lot of the people record at home. Like it's so nice to be able to have that capability in a
hmm
sense.
Yep, yep. It does. It opens it up to a lot more people. Back in the day, it was like you had to have studio time or you weren't going to have a recording. That was the only way that there was to do it. And hopefully you had a good studio because there's a lot of crappy ones back then. Now you can have like you could pretty much do a passable recording yourself. It might not sound completely all the way touched up and professional, but sometimes it works with the music. If you want it raw and dirty, then it works that way.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think I have any more questions for you. I know this was short and sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me on. Sorry it was just me. Tried to get a couple other guys, but
It's all good. Like it's crazy. Like I tell a lot of people, it's fun doing the interviews, but at the same time, like I think I've done a few when it's the full band,
Yeah.
and like it's crazy to see like six different screens at once, and it's so like this, and you don't know who's looking where.
Yeah. It can be tough when you get too many people trying to respond at once. So that works. I'm pretty much the man with the plan anyways. My brother and I are original members from back in early 2000s. Our current bass player we've had for 10, 12 years. And we actually have a newer drummer. He's only been with us for like a year and a half or so now, or not even a year, maybe. So it's been a cool experience. But
Like, yeah. Do you have any
yeah.
shout outs you want to give out?
Um, not really. I mean, just some of these bands we just toured with. Katie Went Missing. They're doing it. Scythe of Grim is out there. They're touring with Mauled right now. Those guys are awesome. Hand Me the Knife. Some guys from Idaho. Those guys are great. There's also not to be confused with Get Me the Knife, who is from Texas, who are also awesome. Um, yeah. So shout out to Peacemaker and I Saw God. We're looking at maybe doing something with them in the near future here. So yeah, everyone's doing amazing things, and we're just happy to be able to dig back in and try to be a part of it.
Like, yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I appreciate your time. And like my father says, let's rock and roll.
All right. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
We'll see you.
See ya.
The Wild